Hey, what's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. Quick reminder for all things Dodger baseball all off season long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. Do you believe that the Yankees truly aren't that interested in Corey Seager? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a threat do you think the Yankees are to signing Corey Seager? We're going to get into that right now. And for all the latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So you know we're going to be following the Corey Seager free agency every step of the way. This is Seager Central, and it looks like we might have a little twist when it comes to Corey Seager signing with the New York Yankees. Today, Joel Sherman in the New York Post, he wrote, executives and player representatives who have dealt with the Yankees so far in free agency sense that they are monitoring the elite shortstop group rather than participating in it, waiting to see if a market collapses, in which case they might still swoop in and try to sign one. So first of all, we got to break out the Dodgers rumor meter. I do think this one is a 2 Dodger dogs. I do think that people are just talking. In my opinion, this feels like a smokescreen from the New York Yankees, because the Yankees know that they are the franchise that will drive the price up for a free agency like Corey Seager, especially when you've heard the rumors for years that he wants to be a Yankee, that he's been enamored with the pinstripes since he was a kid. So it does make sense for the Yankees to try to plant these seeds and spread these stories. But then MLB.com's Mark Feinsand wrote that Corey Seager remains, quote, seemingly atop the Yankees wish list. So there's a couple ways you can look at this. You can look at this as a pure smoke screen by the Yankees. They know they want Corey Seager. They just want to do everything they can in the media to try to lower his price, because they know they're dealing with the Los Angeles Dodgers. They know they're dealing with the Texas Rangers. They know that there's going to be some competition to sign Corey Seager, and they know that they have Scott Boras to deal with, and Scott Boras is going to want to squeeze every single last dollar out of whoever teams he ends up signing with. So it does make sense for the Yankees to try to plant this seed. Now, another way you can look at this is say, hey, maybe there is some truth to this. Maybe the Yankees aren't as interested in Corey Seager as we all expected they would be. Look, they do have Volpe. Look, they do have Peraza, 2 of their top prospects that look to take over that shortstop position at some point. Maybe there is some truth to the fact that maybe these aren't the Yankees that they used to be. Maybe they are a little more cost conscious than they once were. That is also a possibility, but I think the truth is that the Yankees, they value Corey Seager as that much needed left-handed bat for this lineup. They know that he could potentially be the missing piece for this Yankees lineup. There's a lot of power. It's very potent, but it's very right-handed heavy. And it's also been one of the worst kept secrets in Major League Baseball for years now that Corey Seager would have to inevitably move to third base. They know that, so I think if they bring in Corey Seager, he'll play shortstop for one season. He'll get that Derek Jeter moment that he's always been wanting in pinstripes, and then he'll shift over to third base. Now, the next rumor that I think you have to know about comes from Jon Heyman, who this morning on MLB Network's Hot Stove, he said that yes, the Yankees are interested in signing Corey Seager, but that right now they're looking at free agent shortstop Marcus Semien more closely. Here's the clip of Jon Heyman discussing Corey Seager and Marcus Semien from this morning's MLB Hot Stove.
Well, they're definitely looking at those 2 shortstops. There's no question about that. So they may land one of them. I think at this point, they're looking at Semien a little more closely than Seager. We shall see. It's funny to have a backup plan being a potentially $350 million player, but Semien fits them, a shorter-term guy, when they have guys prospects like Volpe and Peraza. The 2 best prospects are shortstops, so they like to do Semien, who's 30 years old at this point. That makes sense for them. Seager, obviously, a little bit younger than that, only 6 months older than Correa, the 2 youngest guys on the market in the shortstop category. But Seager could fit, too, because he's such a good hitter that he could switch over from shortstop after 3 years and move over to third base and play there. So Yankees clearly looking at those 2 players.
So some very interesting stuff there from Jon Heyman. Yes, he's Scott Boras' mouthpiece, so you always have to take it with a grain of salt. But when it comes to Marcus Semien, he is older than Seager. He's 31 years of age. They could get him on a shorter-term deal. He doesn't provide that lefty bat that I think they need, which is why I think the Yankees should go for Corey Seager. But he would be on a shorter-term deal, which would mean less money. And then Volpe and Peraza, one of the two will take over at shortstop at some point. Now, another thing to consider, too, is who is the other elite shortstop out there? It's Carlos Correa. Well, one, Correa is not a left-handed bat. And two, Carlos Correa said about Derek Jeter that he didn't earn any of the gold gloves that he won. So I've seen a lot of Yankee fans out there cool off on the idea of signing Carlos Correa. And also you got Trevor Story out there. That's an option for the Pinstripes as well. So I still believe the Yankees are very interested in Corey Seager. In my opinion, this is a two Dodger dogs. People are talking, and I think this is a ploy to try to reduce his asking price. But I do think the Texas Rangers are just waiting around to see what happens when it comes to Corey Seager. If the market does collapse, will they overpay over the Dodgers and the Yankees and say, hey, come to Texas, get that bag. You've already got your World Series MVP and your World Series title. Come to Texas and just enjoy your career here, a la an Adrian Beltre, guys like that. But I do think this is good news for the Dodgers if it's true. I just don't think it is necessarily true, because if the Yankees aren't as hot on him as everyone believed they would have been, then the Dodgers, they should be in a position where they don't try to get in a bidding war with themselves. I think that's the big thing that the Dodgers need to avoid in this situation. If they truly want to re-sign Corey Seager and lock him up long-term, make sure there's other suitors out there that are offering him legitimate contracts that are close to what you're offering, because you don't want to get into a bidding war for Corey Seager. If you do bring him back, it's at your own terms. It's at a price that you are willing to pay, and you do that knowing that he's going to be the third baseman for the future and not the shortstop. But if true, this is great news for the Dodgers. Do I think it's 100% true? I personally don't. I do think the Yankees still want to try to sign Corey Seager. I do think at the end of the day, this is a smokescreen, but I also don't necessarily believe that the Yankees are willing to go crazy for Corey Seager. I don't know if they're head over heels for him to the point where they're ready to pay him just any dollar amount that he wants and give him that blank check because of his injury history, his durability concerns moving forward, and also the fact that he doesn't impact the game defensively. I think those two reasons are why you won't see tons of these mega $300+ million contracts in line for Corey Seager. But I do think there is going to be a nice payday at the end of the day, but I think it will be in the $240 to $275, maybe even $280 million range when it comes to him, unless I think it's the Texas Rangers who, considering all the money they have to spend and what they have to do to bring a star like Seager down to a team that doesn't look to contend at any point in the near future, is going to require a big bag. So I think they're the one team that could go absolutely bonkers. But I think if it's the Yankees and the Dodgers, they'll be reasonable to an extent. But let me know down below in the comment section, do you think this is a smokescreen by the New York Yankees, or do you think they're truly not as interested in Seager? Let me know down below in the comment section. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all things Dodger baseball, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. For our latest Dodgers Nation merch, head over to gearup.la. Download the new Dodgers Nation app for my Android and iPhone users. For latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.